What's up, guys? I'm Nick Stevenson, the self-appointed president of Houston Sports Nation, and this is your Houston Sports Weekend Review. The week started off with a very emotionally charged matchup between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. Not just because they're division rivals, not just because playoff implications were heavy, but the Titans would don the powder blue and white Oilers gear. The field was painted with Oilers' name and logo, and even the Titans head coach and former Texans D coordinator Mike Vrabel came out rocking the Bum Phillips cowboy hat. Hell no. That's just disrespectful. Clearly, the Texans fans had every reason to want to see the Texans dominate this game, but that would prove to be a tough task. The injury bug has bitten this team hard, none more costly than the concussion suffered by CJ Stroud. However, former Houston Cougar and fan favorite Case Keenum would get the call to start at quarterback, and he would be asked to win this important game without the help of the Texans' top receivers Nico Collins and Tank Dell. It was a struggle in the beginning as the Titans, led by rookie quarterback Will Levis, marched down the field and scored a touchdown on their first possession. Later, Keenum would throw an early pick six and the Texans quickly found themselves trailing by 2 scores. But the Texans defense balled out, recording 7 sacks, 1 interception, and what was probably most impressive, holding Derrick Henry to 9 yards rushing on 16 attempts. They were stifling. And that would be needed as the offense struggled through the air. However, Devin Singletary rushed for 121 yards, putting them in position to inch closer with field goals from Ka'imi Fairbairn, who had just been reactivated after being out several weeks with a quad injury. And boy, would that be important. The Texans were able to tie the game up in regulation, and the defense was able to hold off a game-winning drive and force overtime. In overtime, a struggling Keenum would have a shot at redemption, and he took it with his 40-plus yard pass, catch, and run to Devin Singletary to put the Texans in field goal range. And the game would rest on the leg of Ka'imi Fairbairn, who would need a 54-yard field goal to win the game. And that set up this amazing call by the great Marc Vandermeer and the pride of Dickinson, Ware.
54-yard attempt, left hash mark. Here's the snap. Here's the spot. Here's the kick by Fairbairn.
Yes!
Good! The Texans win!
Yes!
Legendary! Fairbairn knocks it through from 54 as the Texans defeat the former Oilers.
Put those uniforms back in the trunk.
19-16. Have a nice day.
19-16. Texans win. Justice is served to the trolling Titans. Bud Adams, I hope you had a good view from down there. The Texans will play the Browns tomorrow at home in a game with huge playoff implications. They will have to again pull it off without CJ Stroud, who remains in concussion protocol. The Rockets entered the week on a 5-game winning streak. Having seen plenty of days off early in the season, that would all change this week with 5 games and 7 nights. A back-to-back against the Bucks and the Cavs, a matchup with the Hawks, sandwiched between another back-to-back between Dallas and New Orleans. The Rockets have been ranked first or second in defense most of the season, and in large part because of their ability to guard the three-point line. However, the Bucks, the Cavs, and the Hawks shot a combined 41% from behind the three-point line. The Rockets were able to score effectively in all 3 high-scoring games, but a lack of late-game execution on defense, combined with some frankly bad refereeing, led to the Rockets following that 5-game win streak with a 3-game losing streak. The bright spot for the Rockets in the last week has been the play of Tari Eason. In the last 5 games, he is averaging 15.8 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 52.7% from the field, and 53% from 3 points, and he's averaging 2.5 steals a game. They would unfortunately be without Tari Eason for both the games versus the Hawks and the Mavericks, but the good news is the Mavericks were missing everybody. So the Rockets pretty much played their G League team. No Luka Doncic, no Kyrie, no problem, as the Rockets blew out the Mavericks 122-96. Alfred Şengün continues to make the case that he should at least be in the conversation for All-Star honors, as he had 20 and 10 at halftime. He would only play 24 minutes, finishing the game with 22 points, 15 rebounds on 8 of 12 shooting, and went 5 from 5 from the free throw line. But the best thing to come out of the Rockets blowing out the Mavericks was extended minutes for Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore. The Rockets' first-round rookies put on a show in garbage time, and look, I know it's garbage time, but for some of the regular rotation players who have been a little inconsistent, Jalen Green, they better watch their backs, because these rookies are coming. Whitmore, who has been dominating the G League, scored 14 points in 14 minutes on 6 of 12 shooting. He was only 1 of 6 from the three-point line, but when you're catching lobs like this on the fast break, oh my goodness. Who cares what you shot from 3, man? Please get this man some more minutes. I want to see Toyota Center hype after plays like that. Amen Thompson had a solid game with 9 points, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds on 4 of 9 shooting. The midi was looking nice. Hopefully he will continue to improve in more important minutes this season. The Rockets take on the New Orleans Pelicans tonight in the Crescent City. Mount Zion Williamson is questionable for the game, likely due to too much gumbo and too many beignets. I don't know. Please, get this man out of New Orleans. It's not fair to put a man who loves to eat in probably the greatest food city in the country. Trade him to LA, let him eat some tofu, something like that. I don't know, man. But he definitely should not be in New Orleans. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. Central. You can watch the game on the Space City Network, or you can listen to it on Sports Talk 790. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Houston Sports Weekend Review. I am the president of Houston Sports Nation, Nick Stevenson, and I'm asking you to please go follow Houston Sports State of the Union podcast on Facebook, Instagram, or even on the app formerly known as Twitter. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss a beat. We'll see you next time.